The threat of nuclear war is the highest it's been since 1962, and that's what's on everybody's minds right now. There are conflicts going on around the world, and there's potential for new ones to kick off. If America gets directly affected and war is officially declared on the news, then we're going to see major chaos and panic buying. Today we're going to talk about which items you need to stockpile to make sure you and your family have a fighting chance and are prepared before everything gets sold out. We're going to talk about all the tactical gear that people will go and buy at the hunting and sporting goods stores, as well as stuff that's going to be sold out at your local grocery stores if there's an official declaration of war. So let's get started. First up is ammo. Now there's already an ammo shortage, and the price for ammo like 5.56 is insane. But imagine how expensive or scarce it's going to be if there's war. You'll be lucky to find even one box of ammo at your local hunting shop. You need to stockpile a decent supply of ammo now. And we're not talking about home defense scenarios where you may deal with one or two people entering your house and you need 30 rounds. I'm talking about scenarios where we get invaded and you're potentially dealing with large groups of people and you may be in long battles that go on for days, weeks, and months. If you can, try to stockpile a minimum of 500 to 600 rounds of ammo for the weapons you'll be using. Ammo will be worth its weight in gold if war breaks out. Weapons. Now you may already have the weapons you need. And by the way, I have to be very vague about the words I use and I have to speak in code. I hope you understand why. But as I was saying, you may already have the weapons you need and that's perfect. But if you don't, then the cheapest ones you can buy is the surplus stuff. Almost every hunting and outdoor store sells them. They're good enough and the ammo is usually cheaper. If that's not allowed in your area, then at least get a bow and arrow or even better, a crossbow. Let's talk about body armor. I actually sell body armor online and the demand right now is honestly the highest it's ever been. We're normally able to ship out the usual volume of orders and have no problem fulfilling them, but the way it is now, we have times where my entire inventory gets cleared out in one day. I even have people who don't own credit cards who are doing email transfers just to order the body armor. I can imagine the demand is going to be even higher if war is declared. But here's my honest opinion, even as someone who sells this stuff. If you don't have your food and water supply covered, you have no business buying body armor. Get your basics covered like food, water, medical, and weapons, then buy body armor afterwards. But body armor is important. Imagine you're defending your husband or wife and your kids from attackers who are trying to get onto your home or property. You don't want to get hit in the torso, get dropped, and leave the rest of your family helpless. You want to give yourself the highest possible chance of survival and fighting back, and armor will do that for you in combat. If you have multiple people at home, get some armor for them as well. I don't imagine you want to protect yourself and neglect everyone else. Combat helmets. You can buy surplus ones or modern helmets as well. Some people don't trust the surplus ones from the 80s and I get it, but I've seen some tests and they do protect from many different types of ammo. The surplus stuff can be usually found for under $100, but a modern combat helmet will probably cost you around $350 and up. You need a helmet to protect your head. Even if you're going behind cover, in a combat scenario, your head is what's going to be peeking out, so a helmet is a must. Good footwear. You need to have something that you can run and fight in. A lot of people are wearing Crocs nowadays and I have no idea why, but they won't be good for the type of situations you're possibly going to get into. Your socks with sandals combo isn't going to be enough either. Get proper footwear that's comfortable, good quality, that can support the weight of the equipment you'll be wearing, and you can kick indoors with it, and something you can move fast in. Combat boots are good. I like the Ultima Foxhound SR8s, but you can also buy work boots like Timberlands. They have good ankle support and are really tough. For a good pair of boots, you'll probably be spending around $200, but I think it's worth the investment as they usually last a long time. Buy some good combat boots because they're going to be sold out. But I also think that a good pair of quality running shoes or trail running shoes will work as well. Go to a running shoe store, ask them for a pair of running shoes. They'll measure your feet and see what type of walk you have and give you the best pair of shoes for your stride. Tourniquets. My supplier for tourniquets increased their prices and their tourniquets have been on back order for the last 3 to 4 months. The only thing they have left is some orange tourniquets which nobody seems to be buying. I checked with other suppliers and they're either out of stock or increased their prices a lot on every color. Tourniquets are used for major injuries to your limbs, ones where even putting pressure on the wound is not making a difference. Tourniquets should be carried by people in everyday life because you never know when something could happen. Some people also take multiple tourniquets to the range and even rubber band them to the stock of their weapon just in case they need to quickly deploy it if something ends up happening on the range. If there is a war and there's a chance you're going to get into combat, then tourniquets are a must. You should have multiple in case you need it for yourself and others. Don't buy the fake $12 ones online. Buy genuine North American Rescue Cat tourniquets. The cheap ones are nothing more than a fashion accessory. They don't tighten enough to save you, and you don't want to find out when you're actually in trouble and need it to save your life. Spend the money, buy the real thing, because these will be out of stock everywhere if there's an official declaration. Along with the tourniquet, all the first aid kits that are in stores will be out of stock. Potassium iodide. This will protect you from radioactive iodine from a nuclear blast. The government of Switzerland just sent potassium iodide to 5 million of its citizens. And if you think that's not alarming or reason to be prepared, then I don't know what to tell you. There's also a worldwide shortage of potassium iodide, and FDA-approved potassium iodide from brands like ThyroSafe and Iosat have gone up in price and are hard to find right now, but are still available if you know where to look. If war is declared, then it'll be impossible to find these, and even if you do find them online, then by the time they get shipped to you, it may be too late. Baofeng radios. These are a must-have for communication between you and your group. Gas masks. Depending on which one you get and the filter you use, it'll protect you from nuclear, biological, and chemical threats. People will be trying to get everything from the high-quality stuff to the cheap stuff that doesn't work, because most people have no knowledge about how gas masks work and which ones are good quality. Everyone will be concerned about nuclear threats and will buy up all the gas masks and filters they can find, so get yours in advance. Bottled water. People will be worried about the tap being shut off, so they'll go to stores and buy as many cases of water bottles as they can. Buying cases of water bottles is something that everyone just does when they hear of a possible emergency. Water filters. If the tap is no longer flowing and you run out of your stockpiled water, then you need to go and get more from an outdoor water source. The water will most likely be unsafe to drink, so you need some sort of water filter. It could be something like a life straw or even a home gravity water filter. People will be panic buying all kinds of over-the-counter meds like stuff for pain relief, cough, and fever reducers. But the most hard-to-find item will be children's cough and pain meds. Parents will be more worried about seeing their kids in pain than getting medicine for themselves, and some people will go overboard with it because they'll be worried that the stores may never restock and they won't be able to get the meds for their kids again. So they're going to try to buy a lot more than they actually need. If the store puts a limit on items like 2 per person, people will take multiple trips to try and get around that. There will also be people who do that for reselling and will basically triple the price. So get your kids medicine in advance before all the craziness. Also remember to stockpile antibiotics. I'll have links in the link tree. People who have babies will need formula and will be worried about how they're going to feed their baby. So it'll be a similar situation to the children's medicine. They're going to buy up as much as they can and try to take multiple trips so they can go around the 1 per person rule. There will also be people who buy it to resell and will try and sell it for like 4 times the retail price. So if you want to make sure you have enough for your baby, then buy it now before all the chaos. Freeze-dried meals. The camping food section of sporting goods stores and Walmarts will be emptied out because people will be looking for food that won't expire and that's easy to prepare. Food security will be on everybody's minds. Canned food. Even people who aren't preppers will buy up any canned food they can find at the grocery stores. The shelves will be completely empty. You won't see canned beans, vegetables, spam, soups, corned beef, or canned fruit. Go to the grocery store and buy it all now. NOAA radios will give you all types of emergency information, so everyone will be trying to buy these. Get yours in advance. You know it's a serious issue when channels who have nothing to do with prepping, like even finance and entrepreneurship channels, are talking about the possibility of World War III. And just talking to people, I can see it's really a major concern on most people's minds right now. The majority of people are worried about the current conflicts and how they can spread and even escalate. I think the threat is definitely real, especially when you have experts saying that the risk of nuclear weapons use is higher than at any time since 1962. Take these warnings seriously and get all your preps ready now. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.